Okay, this is Alec. It's looking good. Hmm. I would have made the wrist a little bit longer and extruded in there because you're seeing that edge a little bit. Jaw's not bound. You can do that later if you want. Yeah, I mean I think the binding's really good. I'm not finding any issues with it. This guy I would probably just right mouse click, select the vertices, and I would scale this up and maybe move a little bit just so it's easier to select. And the same would go for this one, even more so. What, something else is. Oh, that's weird. It's. Oops. Make sure I'm in component mode when I go to select those. Okay. And scale that one up as well. And probably these arrows that are a little bit hidden. Again, component mode, because otherwise it'll try to select. Oops. Why did I lose my. Selection when I do that? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, just moving those out a bit, maybe more. Something like that. Okay. Object mode, there we go. So yeah, I think just adjusting those, and then I mentioned, you'd have to detach and then rebind it again, but if you wanted to change the model and extend the hands in, but the binding was very good. Great job. Also, really good job on the pose here. Looks very natural and realistic, and it's obvious you spent some real time on it. Like, looks like you even did the fingers and stuff, and so nice job on that as well. This is Bonnie, and yeah, the pose is looking all right. Might have done something a little different. The fingers look a little bit awkward. I'm not sure what the reference was, but maybe a little bit off balance. Maybe if he was bent this far back, he would maybe like bend his knees more to counterbalance. Maybe shift his torso forward a little bit to tilt his head that far back to balance himself out. Let's take a look at the rig. I'm just going to hide the joints. Okay. Got some issues with the hands. Not as bad with this one. Actually, that one looks about fine. So, actually, I'll turn the joints back on. just to see if anything funny's happening with the joints or if it's just purely a weighting issue. Yeah, it looks like it's just a weighting issue. So the first thing I'm going to try in an effort to solve this is to select this hand, shift select this hand. I'm going to try to mirror the skin weights over. So in the rigging menu, skin, mirror skin weights, options, cross the YZ plane. From the negative side to the positive, you can see the X is pointing this way, so this is the positive side. So we don't want that. We don't want positive to negative. We want negative to positive. So we uncheck that. And let's apply and see if that is any better. Oh, I think that did it. Oh, great. Love it when that works. Oh, something's still wacky with the thumb here. Was that happening on the other side? And I just didn't notice it. Yeah, it seems like it, but somehow it seemed worse on this side, no? Yeah, that's interesting. You would think if the mirror worked that it would be the same on both sides. Let me just check one thing here. Pose reset. So I think having the pose being different may mess up the mirror a little bit. But let's go in here and fix this thumb, and then mirror again and see if it works. Alright, so it would appear that this top half of the thumb isn't moving enough. So to select that, I'm just going to pick one vert here, and then shift period, which is the greater than symbol, and pick about that many. And right mouse click, paint, skin cluster weights, double click. Can we dock this again? Why is it not wanting to dock? No? What the heck? I don't know why not. That's weird. Normally it would let me dock this. Anyway, let's unlock everything. And let's just find, star, capital, thumb, star. And this is the character's right hand. So, okay, got the right thing selected there. Replace. So I've just got, these verts select. So if I flood with a value of 1, it's going to do that for just the selected vertices. And let's see how it's doing now. Oh, that's pretty good. Usually I have to do a little smoothing after that, but I'm pretty happy with how that's looking right now. Okay, and then just want to double check that the pose is reset in case I moved anything in between. Looks like it did something. And let's try mirroring the weights again and hope it works. Skin, it should keep the mirror settings from the last time I did it. Okay. Let's check the thumb in particular. Yeah. Good. Let's check all of these. Good. Alright. Do we check this stuff? Oops. Looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more movement on the belly from the leg than I would tend to do. But that's working. Okay. And head, nothing's tearing off or anything. Oh, wait, some craziness with the eyebrow. Look at that. Whee! Alright, besides that, it seems to be alright. Oh, I think our little neck control is hidden in here. Let's just make sure we're in component mode when we select those. Okay, scale that up. Maybe that's too big, but whatever. At least I can pick it now. Okay. So this I've seen a few times lately. L eyebrow shape. L eyebrow shape. So that tells me these two different objects are sharing the same shape node, which means that one is an instance of the other, which is a problem. So I will modify convert instance to object. Whoops. Convert instance to object, and well, it should be, but you see it's not bound now, so I will select that and whoops, and shift select the head joint, star capital HEAD star, enter. Head M, just control click on that, and then skin, bind skin options, select a joint, so it's only the head joint, so it'll give 100% of its weight to that, so it doesn't really matter what else we do. And better. Okay. Just save that in case you want it, but yeah, so mostly really good, just a few little issues. Okay, this is Elena, and yeah, it's good that you got the character pose. It looks like a slightly awkward pose. I think maybe because the knees are kind of locked, and this foot maybe it looks like the heel is lifting off the ground. I'm not sure, and a bit of kind of an odd lean here. So I think you could, go back to your reference. Make sure you're really looking at this from every angle, and you could improve it a little bit, but it's all right. Okay, and let's just take a look in here. It's looking good. Alright, like that. That seems to be working well. I'm pretty concerned about first of all, just the thinness of the hand model. The hand also appears to be backwards, where the palm is facing up rather than down. Is that true here as well? But if you look closely also, the joints are outside of the hand and they should be going down the middle of those fingers. So this one, the palm seems to be facing the right direction, though the hand is quite thin. Let's see how it's bending. Okay. This one I think you need to mirror the hand over again, because it looks like the palm is facing the wrong direction. I mean, the binding's okay, but it looks very weird because you have the back of the hand facing down. So you should delete the hand out, remirror it, bind it, and then mirror the skin weights over. Looks like you didn't do the head weighting thing, so I could show you how to fix it here, but it is demonstrated in the video. So yeah, this is module 8, page 16, flooding weights, and I go through, either in these instructions here or in the video, it takes you through fixing the head. So rather than me demoing it again on your character, if you could just refer back to this. And yeah, that looks okay. Just be aware that there's some animation on here. You're going to want to delete that out. Just reset the pose, making sure everything's back to normal, and then I can, make sure I select all the curves by turning all objects off here, turning on curves, select all the curves, and then edit delete by type channels, and that'll get rid of all that animation. Like, see, there's no red there now, so there's no animation there now. So make sure you get rid of any keyframes. As that's actually a pretty big deal, because later we're going to show referencing, which is a special way to import your model into your scene while maintaining the connection to the original source file. And if there's keyframes on anything, you can't animate them in the file. So you really want to make sure your rig file is clean and free of keyframes on these controls. Okay, this is Justin. Let's take a look. Alright, that seems to be working. Getting a little bit of an issue here with the ankle. Looks like it should be able to work. I'm not really sure why that didn't bind correctly to begin with, but let's just isolate that for a moment and select like this edge and this edge and maybe this edge. Control F9 will convert that to vertices. Right, I already got the paint tool here, so I'll double click on it. Select all these, unlock, and let's find the knee star. No, probably need to be capital star, capital knee star. And what did we say this was, the left foot? So yeah. So I'm just going to flood that to the knee. So select this, replace with a value of 1, flood. Okay, let's try that now. So that it's, because if the weight's on the ankle is going to make it leave the leg. So that's why we need some of the, that seemed to do it. And I'm assuming we have the same problem here. Oh, no we don't. Oh, I guess we could have just mirrored the weights from this one to that one too. That would have solved it. I just assumed they were both messed up, but they were not. Well, I think part of the issue here is you might be a little bit low on geometry. Because there's just, well, there's nothing between these two, so I mean, I'm just wondering if we can get away without adding geometry. You know what? There's another issue going on here. That weighting looks not good. There's much too much weight. I think there should be no weight on the. Just double click on that wrist from here. Control F9. Double click and what, wrist? Star, capital wrist, star, enter. This is his right wrist. And I think that shouldn't affect that at all. So I'm going to try. It's a little more dangerous to do this way, but I'm going to replace with a value of 0, flood. Oh, that should turn black. Oh, pfft. Sorry, I did opacity 0. Replace with the value of 0. There we go. Yeah, see, that's better. That was the problem. Let's see, is that the same on the other side? Yep, see, that shouldn't be happening. So let's mirror, skin, mirror, skin weights options, YZ, it's from the negative side because the X is pointing this way, so that's the positive direction. So from the negative side to the positive side, so this is unchecked, mirror. And how are we doing? Yep, solved it. Great. Save the file. Okay. That's looking alright. Okay, the head's moving okay, but we've got some eyeballs and eyebrow and the eyes flying around. Okay, so first of all, let's just do these. Not bound, not bound. This, RI shape, capital RI. Oh, maybe those are different. This one is not bound. This one is bound. Oh, okay. Well, they're just not bound. That's all. So for these guys, I'm going to grab those, outliner, star, head, star, and open this up and find the, under the deformation system, the head M joint. I'm going to control select that. And skin, bind skin options using selected joints, and so it'll just put all the weight on that head joint, and then those should move with that. Good. And then for the eyeball, select that, star, capital I, star. And under the deformation system, come on, we've got, this is his right eye, so control click on the right eye, and then just same bind skin with those same settings, selected joints. And yep. Just we can check the eyes are moving alright with the wireframe unshaded thing. Yep. Great. Okay. I was just saving that in case you want later, but it should be pretty straightforward to fix. Oops. Oh yeah, that's fine. Turn off that wireframe unshaded. Alright. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, it's good. A couple little fixes, but mostly looking good. On the pose here, it's alright. It reminds me of that sort of Karate Kid thing, but if you, the original, those of you who've seen it, but one thing to consider is if he's got his weight off this foot, then he has to counterbalance, and he would shift his root so it's centered over the foot that's carrying the weight. So he needs to shift over this way, the root. Maybe like curl the spine a little bit, just the head joint position. This is Shana. I think the pose is okay. I like what you've done with the arms crossing, but the less of it looks sort of untouched, and you want to do, you know, maybe like sort of Contra Costa shoulders and elbows, you know, opposite directions, maybe a bent knee, maybe turn out a foot, tilt the head a little bit. So it's a bit too, well, really it looks like you've only done the arms and hands and fingers. It looks like you left the rest of the body alone, but you're going to want to, you know, make sure you affect all the controls when you do a pose. Okay, you said something about the thumb, so let's take a look at that. Yep. Okay, let's just look at the rest of the fingers while we're at it. Alright. Just look at not the thumb to see if any other fingers are affecting that. A little bit, yeah. Something else is too. So I guess what I'm going to do is select this, right mouse click edge, double click, control F9 to turn it to vertices, shift period, which is the greater than symbol, and hit that a few times till I get all these vertices. I could have just done a marquee selector on those two. It might have been just as easy. Okay, and then go into the paint tool, double click, and let's unlock all of these, shift unlock. And that's his left thumb, so we're gonna Okay, left thumb. So I can see all that white there. So replace with a value of 0 flood. Replace with the value of 0 flood. Replace the value of 0 flood. Okay, let's check that now. What did I miss? I missed something. Okay, I remembered my selection. That's good. Oh, I must have. Thought I did all those. Thumb. Flood. Thumb. Flood. Don't know what. Still. Whoops. You know what? I think that I didn't have that edge selected, maybe. Let's put that back. When I did the flood, I think it didn't affect this row here. So let's repeat that. This is left, right? Yeah. So value of 0 flood. Value of 0 flood. Value of 0 flood. Okay. Alright, yeah, and then the next thing to do is just figure out which finger is having that other little effect that we saw. Middle is doing a little bit. Anything else? Ring, ugh. Pinky, ugh. Oh, what a pain. So another way to do this is, yeah, like I said, I could just do a marquee select around. This whole. Okay, we could try it in the window general editor's component editor. And that's weird. It should show the weights in here. I don't know what's going on. That's very strange. Is it? Oh, that was just minimized. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, God, there's just like weights on all kinds. What ankle? Jeez. So let's. You know what? This is where hammer might help. Let's try hammer skin weights. Skin. Hammer skin weights. Okay, let's just check the component editor again and see what it has to say about that now. Better. So we've got elbow and shoulder, thumb, and wrist. Well, we don't want a thumb. I'm not too worried about the other ones. I'm surprised these weights look pretty small. I'm surprised they didn't get removed with the hammer thing. So I just shift select those, type 0, enter. It should get rid of the whole row. Or you can click on the top, control click on one field, type 0, enter. Does that work? Okay, now that got rid of it. So that whole column goes away. Yeah, not affecting that now. So now, we have the same problem over here. We do, so we select this guy, skin, mirror skin weights options across the YZ plane. We're going from positive to negative. The S or the X is pointing in the positive direction, so we check this. And mirror. And let's check this. Better. No problem there. Okay, Let's save that in case you want it. Let me know. Okay, let's just check the rest of the model. Maybe a little bit more effect on the belly. I might reduce the weights on that some from the hip. So like maybe this one and maybe that one doesn't have any weight on the hip. Control F9, double click. That's the right hip. Yeah, look at all that weight there. Well, I don't think that should be there. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. Let's flood that with 0. And now try it. Why is it still moving so much? Maybe it's like the knee is doing some of that. Control F9 again. Because I mean, it should affect this part a little bit, but oh, there's this thing. Oh, okay, what's that? All right, we gotta get rid of it there, just for to make sure. Oops, I had the vert selected still. Okay, I think that's a little better now. Still a little funky, but it's better. And then let's try mirroring this skin, mirror skin weights from the negative side to the positive side. So we'll uncheck that. Okay. Ooh. No. Still too much here too. What just happened? The mirroring just kind of screwed it up, I guess. All right. I'm just gonna pick this row just for good measure. So let's just say replace the value 0, flood. So none of those verts are affected that. Let's make sure we get the left one. Look at that. Flood. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, let's try again. Jeez. Looks like that's just moving too much. What I might try now is a little smoothing. So let's go back up to that hip. See, maybe we need it to kind of blend into that a little bit. And this is a little like, why is this hip affecting this stuff over here? That's not really so good either. So let's solve that. Replace with a value of 0, flood. Yeah, because we don't want this hip affecting that side. And likewise, oops. Just pick these verts here, and we don't want the opposite hip affecting this side. So flood that with 0. Okay. Let's just see where we're at right now. Oh, okay, much better. Yeah. Oh, not so much better. Interesting, because this one's pretty good, and this one's pretty not good. I guess. Oh, did we ever? Get these zeroed out for that? I can't. Just double check. There's an awful lot of weight on the center there. So we could try. I just want to go to just select this surface, and this makes me a little nervous. But let's try flooding with smooth. That might have been bad. I don't think that helped anything. So what is the problem with this? This is moving that middle stuff too much. Alright, well let's paint replace with a value of 0. Oh yeah, that's better. How about this one? Is it still okay? Oh yeah, looks pretty good. All right. Just checking all the various joints. Looking good, looking good. Looks good. All right. Yeah, good work. So yeah, a few things to fix there around the kind of the hips, waist area. But other than that, looking pretty good. I see your note about not being able to turn this in on time because of maintenance, so don't worry about that. I'm not going to mark any of these down late. Oh yeah, kind of funny, clever pose. Let's take a look at the Maya file. Okay, you've got it in the pose here. I'm just going to put this up and reset that. Okay, good. And let's just check out the deformations on this guy, see how he's doing. So far so good. Yeah, looks really good. Everything I've seen so far. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this looks really good. I can't really find any issues with it. Nice job. Yeah, really good all around. Great work. Okay, this is Jersey, and yeah, it's an interesting pose and camera angle. I would make sure you're posing the fingers too, and it helps have like a little bit of bend in the elbows, wrist, not be so perfectly rigid and straight. Maybe same for the legs, and kind of shift the weight under one leg so he's not standing perfectly straight like that. All right, let's check this out. Jersey. That bends too far in the extreme. You don't have any detail on this thing. That's an issue. It's going to be hard to get that to move nicely without any additional edge loops on there. So what I would do is I would first give it some more edge loops and then adjust the weights on that. But you're going to have to detach it to do that. I can show that process, I guess. So I'll just do it for both of these. Oh, let's reset the pose first. Pose, reset. Okay. And let's isolate these. Control Shift X. Something like that. We didn't delete history. Alt Shift D. Alt Shift D deletes history. Let's unisolate these things. AS5 thing, we've got select deform joints. And shift select this. And let's just bind it again. Rigging, skin, bind skin. I'm just going to reset this and bind those. Okay. Okay, that's looking better. Okay. Just sort of spot check some other areas. Alright, yeah, that's looking good. As I mentioned before, don't worry about the work being late. I'm not going to mark it down because I saw that they were doing maintenance. Yeah, this looks alright. Looks a little off balance. I think if his foot's forward, he kind of has to stick his butt out behind him to counterbalance that. So you might look at it from some other angles. Okay, let's Herminia. Let's check this out. That looks good. What's going on? Why is that not moving right? No, it is. Okay, that looks alright. Okay. Okay, this is looking alright. Good. Nice. Alright, yeah, it looks pretty good. I can't seem to find any issues with it. Let's just check those fingers. It's interesting the palms are facing forward. Normally they face down. Well, it works. So, okay. That works. Yeah, good job. You've got this thumbnail, says Brianna, but it's not posed, so I can't really give you credit for the pose, but maybe that's because of your rig problems. Okay, this is Brianna. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, it's got some issues on the foot bind here. Yeah, look at that. So that's not so great, so I might just rebind that. Let's take a look at, oof, wow, the finger joints are all misplaced, so I wouldn't use that. That's way off. They're way off, and to fix that you have to go back a few steps, unfortunately. I would make this circle bigger so it fits outside of him. To fix the fingers, you have to go back to the where you place the joints, the earlier stage. Oh, and you haven't done the head thing, and as I mentioned before in this video, I go over how to fix exactly that in this module 8, page 16. So just review this material. There's no reason for me to do it again on this YouTube when I've already done it. So just follow. And yeah, so other than that, it seems to be moving okay. So I really think the big things are get the head weighting and the hair weighting and all that. But I think you have to go a few steps back to get the finger joints placed inside the finger. Oh, this is interesting. Why is one hand placed correctly and the other one is not? Aha, so maybe we don't have to go back. I just assumed that they were both equally off, but that's not. So something funny has happened at some point. So I'm just going to delete this hand. I'm going to select this one and Control D, duplicate it, unlock the duplication, right mouse, unlock, selected, okay, and I already duplicated it, right? Yeah. So to get the pivot point at the center, I can just group it to itself, Control G, and then do scale -1. There we go. Look at that. It fits right on there. So something weird happened at some point. We need to bind that, go into the AS5 thingy, add the deform joints, go to the bind options. We got selected joints, bind skin. And that is working. Yeah. And if you had any weighting on this one, we could select these two and do a skin, mirror skin weights. Options, across the YZ plane, from negative to positive. So this is unchecked, that's good. And mirror. Yeah, so it should have moved the weights from the other hand over to this one. Alright. We mentioned the head thing, right? So look that up. Yeah, the other pieces I don't really see any issue with, so got those few things fixed and you should be on your way.